we know that by 2050, for example, there will be almost 1 billion children in Africa and the Middle East. They will represent 40% of the global total, and that's a 2.5-fold increase over the numbers today.
Hello, my name's Maria Spies, co-CEO of Holland IQ, and we're here today at the Holland IQ Global Impact Summit in Cairo. And I am super excited to be talking to Stavros Yiannouka, who is the CEO of WISE at Qatar Foundation. Stavros, it's wonderful to have you, and thank you for your time. Maybe you could start by just saying a few words about your role and about WISE.
Well, it's great to be here, Maria. A big fan of Holland IQ from the inception, and happy to be part of the Cairo Summit. So I've had the privilege of leading WISE for the past 10 years. WISE stands for the World Innovation Summit for Education. As you noted, it's an initiative of the Qatar Foundation, and we're dedicated to addressing some of the key challenges in global education through research, capacity building programs, and of course advocacy.
Fantastic. How are you thinking at the moment about sort of key challenges and opportunities for education in this region, or I guess in other regions as well?
I mean, particularly for Africa and the Middle East, I think you've probably heard this many times, or you will hear it many times today. But there is huge opportunity. We know that by 2050, for example, there will be almost 1 billion children in Africa and the Middle East. They will represent 40% of the global total, and that's a 2.5-fold increase over the numbers today. So if we care about educating the world's children, then we need to be thinking about how to invest in this part of the world. The challenge, again, I think it's fairly well understood. If we go about thinking about education in the traditional way, we will fail spectacularly, because there simply isn't enough time to create enough schools, to create enough universities, to train enough teachers, to train enough professors. So we need to think about a radically different and transformational approach to education, particularly for this part of the world.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, where it's both a challenge and an opportunity.
Yes, it's a whole new way of thinking about scaling education.
Yeah.
And so what are some of the initiatives or projects that you're working on right now, that WISE is working on?
Well, I mean, at Qatar Foundation, we continue to invest in Education City, which is our home base.
Yes.
In Doha, Qatar, into transforming that into an innovation hub, a hub for progressive education, a hub for delivering higher education in the context of a multiversity. Specifically at WISE, we're trying to foster an ecosystem where innovations in education, where technology, where new approaches to pedagogy, to curriculum are being trialed and studied, so that we can lend our voice and our perspective on what works and what doesn't in this hugely exciting space.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I know that partnerships form a really important part of a future where we're trying to solve for that scale you were talking about earlier.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
And we're just about to kick off the Cairo Summit later on today. What are the sort of trends that you're hearing, or that you'd love to hear talked about at the summit today?
I mean, I'd love to understand at a more granular level what is happening in the region. Where are the innovations? Where are the new approaches that are going to help this part of the world leapfrog and deliver on the expectations of young people and and their families.
Yes.
That you know are going to be such an important constituency for the whole world
Yeah.
in the coming decades.
Fantastic.
So really looking forward to it. Really excited to be here again.
Stavros, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Likewise, thank you.